How you doing, guys? Hope you're all good. Ollie, Hampshire Heroes. So we specialise in the management of professional HMOs across Derby. Last month I did mention about Article 4 coming in, because this is quite big news. Basically, if you're in HMOs in Derby, then this is like really important. You need to know what's happening. We did a webinar with the head of the planning department at the council, Paul Clark, last month. If he was on it, I learnt loads, to be honest. I thought I'd researched it quite a lot, but there was just loads of stuff, and I was like, there's a lot going on. Basically, this is the map of the proposed Article 4 area. So if you've got any HMOs in this boundary, as of next year, 3rd of May is the date that Paul sent through to me on an email a few days ago, basically saying, provided that the consultation and everything goes through, it's going to be coming into effect on the 3rd of May, which is good, because he was saying it could be early as January or February next year. I don't know if this is gospel, but that's basically what he said to us. So hopefully, if that is the case, we've got about 12 months to basically figure out what you want to do if you are looking to invest in HMOs, or you're already invested in HMOs. So it got a bit confusing towards the end, and everyone was like, okay, so which certificate do I need? Do I need a certificate of lawfulness, or do I need a certificate of proposed use? And also, it did change apparently, April, in fact that was last month, wasn't it? From the start of April, it's changed from 4 years to show that you've been operating it as a HMO to 10 years. So obviously, if you've had a HMO for 5 years, you're not going to be able to apply for a certificate of lawfulness because you've not been operating it for a minimum of 10 years. So what you're going to need to do, I might be wrong, but what you're going to need to do is apply for a certificate of proposed use. So basically what you're going to do, submit to the council to say, I've had this property since, say, 2021, it's been operating as a HMO, is this lawful use today as it stands before it comes in May? So obviously if they come back to you and say, well, yes, it was before the 2nd of May, then you could continue to operate it as a HMO. One of the things that he said on there as well, Paul at the planning department said, there's 3 options basically: certificate of lawfulness, certificate of proposed use, or he said, just you can do nothing. If you're not planning on selling the HMO, you don't need to do anything unless they start getting complaints from neighbours, or it basically flagged up on their radar to say that this house is a problem. Then they'll start investigating it. So you could potentially do nothing. I personally wouldn't do that, but that was his words, not mine. So this is basically what you need to prove to show that you've been operating as a HMO. So you need all your tenancy agreements, all your certificates, and also it said you need to prove that it's been operated as a HMO for 10 years with no breaks. So I don't know if maybe you operated it as a HMO for a bit, and then you turn it into an Airbnb, tried that model, so then there's a bit of a break, and then you switch it back to HMO. I don't know what kind of impact that potentially would have on that. So basically, you need to prove that the planning permission wasn't required at the date that you bought it. If you're in the process of buying a HMO at the minute and you've not quite completed on it yet, or you're going for a refurb, then my advice would be to basically submit to the council now to say, is this a proposed, is this permitted development basically now, before the 2nd of May? Just so you covered yourself, because what you don't want to do is get after May next year and then maybe they flag it up and then you, I don't know, you should be able to prove it, but you don't want to be having to like sort of trying to prove something that you've already been operating. You may as well just keep yourself safe and just submit your documents now, is basically what I'm trying to say. I know, Joe, you're going to be talking about it in a minute, so you probably want to speak to Joe about this, because she could probably be able to help you with submitting your documents to the planning department and things like that. This is a link to the webinar that we did last month. So if you're interested in it and you want to know a bit more, we did discuss quite a lot on there. So check out the webinar. I learned quite a lot as well, so I'm sure you guys will. And one of the things that a lot of people don't realise is we also manage single lets. So we're known for managing HMOs across Derby, but we do also manage quite a lot of single lets, but we don't really talk about it because our brand is Hampshire Heroes. Everyone just assumes that we just do HMOs and not single lets as well. So We're going to be launching a different brand in the summer. It's going to be Ibbotson Estates and Lettings. So if you have got any single lets and you need any management on single lets, then keep an eye out or come speak to us in a break. And that's me for the month. Thanks.